The following segment is sponsored by Northwest Honda Dealers.
What we're seeing is more people under more stress, and therefore children struggling more with typical developmental challenges that they have to face.
We are a stressed society, and it's impacting adults all the way down to very young kids. K2's Genevieve Rayom went up to OHSU to figure out what challenges kids are dealing with most today.
ADHD, or attention deficit hyperactive disorder, anxiety, and depression. They're the most common psychiatric or mental health diagnoses for children. It's a mirror of our stressed society. Think economic volatility, social pressures.
We have stressed families and kids, and a higher incidence of mental illnesses that are highly influenced by environmental pressure as well as genetic history.
Dr. Ajit Jetmalani is the director of child and adolescent psychiatry at Dorenbecher. He's been working in this field 3 decades.
I did some research after our interview to find out just how common are these three. Let's start with ADHD.
According to the CDC, more than 6 million kids have it. The National Institute of Mental Health says it's more common in boys than girls. It's usually diagnosed when kids are just starting school. Dr. Jetmalani says before that diagnosis, it's important to rule out other learning problems, mental health conditions, or medical masquerades.
Trauma, anxiety, stress, physical health problems, not being fed, and sleep disorders. Kids who are not sleeping don't focus.
Anxiety and depression usually hit when kids are a bit older. According to the Child Mind Institute, in the past decade, there's been a 17% jump in anxiety diagnoses.
How do you know if your kid's just stressed or if they're actually struggling with an anxiety disorder?
A disorder means dysfunction.
Stress and anxiety are normal. It's not normal when they come with an unreasonable fight or flight response. Anxiety can also leave kids feeling physically ill.
Pediatricians see a lot of kids with headaches and stomach aches who really have anxiety disorders.
Depression is another battle millions of kids across the country are dealing with. It's more than sadness and grief.
It really has to do with duration and then function.
Duration. We're talking about 2 weeks of persistent sadness, irritability, or anger. And function. Is it impacting their time with friends, family, or their academic performance?
The good news from Dr. Jetmalani is although diagnoses are increasing, he says stigma is decreasing. The key, keep talking about mental health. Address it early and often. In studio, Genevieve Rayom, K2 News.
And there is no standard for when kids are diagnosed with ADHD, depression, and anxiety, but doctors say they do see kids at a certain age start to exhibit symptoms. Separation anxiety and phobias are common in preschool and early grade school. ADHD is typically diagnosed in grade school along with other learning disability. Kids over 10 have rapidly increasing rates of suicidal thinking, so it's critical to ask them about it at this age. Generalized anxiety and social phobias appear in late childhood and early adolescence. Bullying peaks in middle school. Depression is more commonly first diagnosed in middle and high school, but doctors stress these are not hard and fast, so don't ignore the symptoms because you think your child is too old or too young to be affected.
Well, a school district in the Eugene area is getting national help to cut back on suicides. Experts talked to about 80 middle and high school kids in the Bethel School District tonight. They're from the SOS program and focus on using friends and peers to prevent suicides. Students are learning to help others and themselves.
Helping them recognize what is it in your life that helps you? Where do you find strength when hard times come? That you already have strength within you. When those hard times come, when those difficulties hit you, you have a base to go back to. You have something to draw on so you can get through the crisis.
The Bethel School District is set to launch the Source to Strength program tomorrow.
Experts say having a mental health first aid kit can be as simple as keeping these numbers on hand. It's for the National Lifeline, 1-800-273-8277. It can be a valuable tool for you or your kids in the middle of a mental health crisis or to find resources near you. There are numbers specifically for the kids, so you can get all those at kindisbetter.org.
And your kids can join the Kind is Better movement. In fact, we're looking for a teen leadership team to shape a better future in Oregon and Washington. Up to 12 kids and teens, grades 8 through 12, will be selected to be ambassadors. They'll talk about the issues they care about and gain the skills needed to make real-world plans to address them. The team will help direct our ongoing TV, radio, and social media campaigns. You can check it all out at www.kindisbetter.org. Applications are due at the end of the month.
Let's go to